High in the Drakensberg Mountains of southern Africa lies the Kingdom of Lesotho. This landlocked country of 2.5 million people lays claim to many different names. The Roof of Africa, the Switzerland of Africa, and the Kingdom in the Sky. These majestic mountains provide the perfect backdrop for this adventure of a lifetime. Do you like hiking, flying into remote areas in a small plane, 4x4 driving, and pony trekking? Then journey with us to this mountain realm to discover the adventure God has in store for you. Our trip begins in the lowlands of Maseru, the national capital. Here, lifestyles are very Western in terms of clothing, homes, and transportation. But you will notice a disparity in living conditions in the city. Many Basotho have come to Maseru seeking jobs. The fortunate ones find work in garment factories or in shops or as security guards, while others make a meager living selling fruits and vegetables on the streets. However, many others find no work at all. Those who have been educated in the nearby National University of Lesotho will most likely have the best success in finding jobs. As we leave Maseru in our journey, we continue past smaller towns where we see people selling fruit to other travelers making a similar trek into the mountains. Our first visit is to Taba Basiu, a national monument of Lesotho. Here, King Moshoeshoe, the founder of the Basotho nation, gathered his people atop this mountain fortress as protection from invading enemies. Our climb to the top of this rocky plateau shows us the difficulty the enemies had in scaling this fortress. Once on top, you glimpse the nearby Hat Mountain that is the model for the ever-present Basotho hat, proudly worn by people throughout the country. We also see where the king and his many wives lived. No one lives here now, and few make the steep climb to visit the piles of rocks marking the graves of King Moshoeshoe, many of his descendants, and of all the succeeding Basotho kings. Looking around at the ruins marking the beginning of the Lesotho nation, and pondering the graves, we can't help but wonder where they are spending eternity. Continuing our journey, looming in the distance are the beautiful mountains. We leave the comfort of smooth roads and begin this chapter on gravel roads. But the comfort left behind is more than made up for by the breathtaking scenery of the Orange River Valley. We are now in the midst of the Maluti Mountains. Throughout our journey, we are warmly greeted by smiling Basotho eager to help us in any way. A few will be able to speak English and say, "Good morning," even when it is evening, or ask for some candy. But most will greet us in their language and say, "Dumela," meaning, "I see you."
Dumela gonu. O phela jwang me? Phela hantle me.
You glimpse people fetching water for their daily needs. You see women washing clothes in the nearby stream. And you see children laughing as they play soccer on almost any place that they can find a flat spot of land. As you see the busyness of the people on this Sunday morning, fixing a thatched roof, plowing fields, and repairing roads, you wonder about their spiritual needs and if they know Jesus. It is one thing to see the mountain kingdom from the ground, but another to experience it from the air. Missionaries are readily transported from one mountain village to the next through Mission Aviation Fellowship. These experienced pilots will take us over a mountain range in 15 minutes that would take several hours by four-wheel drive. But beware, the ride will be bumpy, and you may get sick. As you look down from the plane, you make out isolated villages scattered on mountain ridges, some with roads leading to them, but many accessible only by foot or horse. You notice the terraced fields and cattle kraals dotting the landscape. Soon you realize that all the landscape is still brown and dead, since the rains have not yet come. But you know that new green plant life will spring up everywhere as soon as it rains. And this makes you pray that God's word will fall on the hearts of these people and produce new life. We are still not yet at our final destination, and we may need to sleep under the sky of the beautiful African night, in tents or huts, or simply on the ground. As you gaze upwards, you will see the moon, stars, and the Milky Way galaxy as bright and glorious as they were created to be. The final leg of our journey may be hiking over the last mountain range on rocky and steep paths. We may be fortunate to ride a horse over this mountain pass, but if not, then the high altitude will challenge our strength to make it over the summit to our final destination, the village below. After many, many hours of travel, by four-wheel drive vehicle, by small plane, by horseback, and by foot, our journey has now reached its destination, a mountain village deep in the Maluti Mountains where the gospel has never been heard. To this hut, to talk to these people about Jesus. Do you want an adventure of a lifetime? Now the adventure of a lifetime begins for you as you talk with them about Jesus. And the adventure of a lifetime begins for them as they hear. How lovely on the mountains are the feet of him who brings good news, who announces peace and brings good news of happiness.